episode 1146 of Hard Factor. It is Wednesday, February 15th, 2023. Thank you for cheating on the news with us, and welcome to the last week of Mardi Gras. And today, Wes has Ukraine, Nikki Haley, the tragedy at Michigan State, and maybe an insane flight in Hawaii in the cup of coffee in the big time today.
That is correct. Those are all
fantastic.
All of that's correct.
Those are huge, huge news stories. Thank you, Wes.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a party, like Mardi Gras. You know?
Yeah, all besides the Michigan State.
What a party.
Right.
Yeah.
There'll be other days for them. Yeah, that's not good. That's not a party. No.
Yeah. Pat's got a woman who physically attacked her lawyer and or cyclists getting doored on deck.
Yeah, we'll see how long the lawyer one goes, and maybe you'll hear about some people that are fighting back. Taking the streets back is what I like to call it.
Well, if you've got a video of any cyclist getting doored, I'd like to see it.
I have that. I also
Yeah.
I have the video of this woman attacking her lawyer. It's pretty good.
Okay, cool.
Pretty good, and you might recognize this lady because she's
saw a
called back
preview.
to a story we covered last year.
I could watch 3 hours of cyclists getting doored.
Yeah, we can go long if it's
Yeah,
cyclists.
we can go
getting hit.
long.
Yeah.
All right, well, then get
people-
ready for the 2 slot because it's going to be fat with some crazy.
People love cyclists getting abused in any video that you can find. Mark's got a new segment called Moron Mountain in the Hole.
Dealing with some real idiots.
Nice. Yeah, on Moron Mountain. As you would expect that when you go there. And I've got the latest animal news that you need to know, seriously, could affect you right now to close this one out today.
I love that we always keep the listeners up to date with what's going on with animals because we're animal lovers here in the show. And
Oh,
We
dude,
are.
Animal Kingdom's huge. A lot of good
It's the
stories out
best.
there. Yeah.
This is this is stuff that you're going to want. It's a PSA almost. Very serious stuff. So get ready.
Gibbons Cock was making the rounds in the Discord today.
Gibbons
Patreon.com
Cock.
/ Hard Factor. Again, there were a lot of merch ideas for the Gibbons Cock.
Really? I wasn't in there today.
Oh man, not in the merch thread, in the episode thread. Like
Well,
we're
it's
talking,
mostly just
yeah.
Valentine's Day themed stuff, so we're a little late on it. We'll have to do it for next year.
Right, but you could do anything really with the lettering, like Hard Factor, but all Gibbons Cock.
You could do
rotated
Florida Man
around.
Friday. Right,
yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
It's got to be a sexual time, though. It's quite a theme.
I do want to say on the topic of Discord, we just paid out $1,000 to the listeners of Hard Factor that are members of the Discord and participated in our Super Bowl Squares situation. So congrats to all the winners out there. You can get down on all
Thank
sorts
you.
of fun betting situations like that by joining the Patreon.
Wait,
Getting all
Wes,
up
you
in that
won
Discord.
one of the.
Wes
why'd
won
you just
200 of
announce
it.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I won one of the big ones.
I forgot.
Do you want to tell the people? Do you want to
Makes
tell
it
the
really
do you want to tell the
a lot
people?
worse
Pat,
right after
amen-
Pat was
amendment,
just talking
we
about
paid out
how great it is
$800.
for the listeners.
Well, do you want to hear the deal Wes and I worked out? Wes, tell the people the deal.
Between the lotto and the our other stuff.
Just tell them the deal.
Yeah, so I texted Pat. I said, hey, I know we've been switching up between, I cover your lotto stake. You've covered some football stake. And, hey, you want to just, give me 175 since I didn't pay for the squares up front because, we've been covering each other. I said, or you could pay me 200 and we can keep going like this. And he sent me 175. So he set the standard where now we're just going to Venmo each other for everything.
So you didn't even pay
Yeah.
for the squares you won.
No,
Wait, you hadn't paid him?
no, because Pat
Let's
and I
move on.
trade with
Yeah.
the lotto thing. He doesn't pay me for lotto. I don't pay him for
Wes
the
won
other
one of
shit.
the
Wes
squares
won the
that hadn't
largest
paid.
square without paying for it.
No, I paid for it in the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, that's how it
Great,
goes.
it was a great Super Bowl for you.
Now I
Wes.
see why Pat wanted to bring it up.
It was amazing.
Big Wes Super Bowl.
Well, hey, if we won the lottery and Pat hadn't paid me for the lottery, that'd be a big thing.
Everything's
wouldn't it?
coming up, Wes.
Yeah.
There you go.
2023.
That'd be a big thing, wouldn't it?
That would be a big
That'd be pretty big.
It would involve guns and murder, probably.
Probably.
I guess you owe him one now.
Motherfucker thinks he's not going to cut me in, huh? playing it
me
real by
down.
the book, huh?
Got $4.
We're going to hit that lotto one of these days, though.
We are absolutely.
What would that be like if one of us seriously got left out of lotto pool because they didn't?
Oh,
I mean,
That's why you have to re-up every time. Because the thought of not being in it when
Ain't
it
no
hits
mountain high, ain't no
terrifying.
river low to jump off of into, baby.
Yeah. You'd be like that guy I saw on the Mopac Bridge on the way
Yeah.
home, just about to jump.
Yeah.
Get me to the tallest building.
Just contemplating stuff.
Yeah.
Off a ledge.
Anyway, get in the lotto pool because you will jump off a bridge if you hear us talking about it enough and you're not in it. That's going to be terrible for you. So,
Yeah.
just
Patreon.com/hardfactor.
There you go. All right, let's do the news, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time.
Let's start with a joke, a Valentine's Day themed joke of the day from our little Canadian up there, Dooley. I just assume he's little from what I've seen of him. Maybe he's tall. I don't know. How tall is Dooley?
The service fees we got to pay those Canadians because they use PayPal isn't little.
Yeah, that's why I'm making fun of him.
That's true.
Yeah. Tell us how.
He's little for how north he lives. See, the average height is probably like 6'8" where he's from.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
They call
what
him
if
Little
the
Dooley.
humans are small, but the Sasquatches are large?
True.
Anyway.
The animals are huge. The moose.
What were you saying about little Dooley?
I'd love to know how tall he is. So if he's in the comments now or in the Discord, if you listen, just let us know how tall you are, Dooley.
5'9" is my guess.
I'm guessing 5'8".
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Any Will, you want to take a bet on how tall Dooley is?
What's the average male height?
5'8" and a half. I think.
5'9".
I'm splitting the difference in 5'8.5" between you guys.
What are you thinking about? Are you talking about average or average Canadian male height?
No,
Either.
Dooley.
Which either Canadian.
The average is 5'10.1.
Whoa.
Canadian?
5'10" then. Dooley.
Canadian,
5'10".
yeah, Canadian's five.
way under that.
5'10".
Dude, they're huge.
He's way under that. Anyway, he had a great joke. It goes like this: if someone who works with flowers is called a florist, then what do you call someone who installs floors?
A
I don't know what
florist.
was.
Flowers.
No, an alcoholic.
That's true.
That's a good one. I like that one. All right, guys, let's get to the news. Let's get the bad news out of the way. We have to talk about it. Still developing story. But here we are again, 2023, America, and yet another woman is trying to run for president. When will it stop?
goodness.
Right? This time the woman's name is Nikki.
That won in each of the last 3 elections now, while
Yeah.
counting 2024.
They're not
It's-
getting the hint, are they?
Yeah,
We're not
it's
voting for
Hillary,
them.
and
Here
then you
she
had
is.
what was Joe Jorgensen, and then now hit Nikki Haley.
Yeah, Palin.
She must have been inspired by that all-lady flyover at the Super Bowl.
That could be it.
Maybe, possibly.
What do they think they're going to do?
that's all
'Cause
women
the
up
first
there.
2 didn't win.
The
Okay?
Taliban
Not a
said,
cock in those cockpits.
gross.
Yeah, I mean, here she is looking very woman. I mean, this is the United States. The United States, okay?
The Taliban was like, no wonder the aliens are invading the airspace. The flyovers are all women. You know?
Yeah, I know it's terrible.
Easy pickings.
Weak airspace.
Yeah.
I don't create the news, I just report on it.
Right.
And I, of course, am kidding. More on Nikki Haley's announcement later. But the terrible news is, in fact, that I'm talking about is yet another mass shooting at a school in the United States of America, this time Michigan State University, where at the time of this recording, 3 people are dead, 5 are still fighting for their lives in critical condition, and 1 piece of shit is dead. That piece of shit being the shooter, who ended his own sad, pathetic life after carrying out the shooting. So an alert went out at 8:31 p.m. Monday, telling students to run, hide, fight. That's literally what it said, which is
That's terrifying.
that's a scary fucking warning. And reports of shots fired at Berkeley Hall and the MSU Union. So 2 people were killed at Berkeley Hall, said the university interim deputy police chief Chris Rosman. Then he went to MSU Union, where another was killed. All students. Here's the victim. Sorry, just want to put them out front from left to right. Sophomore Brian Frazier, sophomore Ariel Anderson, and junior Alex Werner.
What are they,
So
50 combined? 50? Like, that's
horrible,
unbelievable, dude.
yeah,
That's fucked up.
unbelievable. 2 of them, Frazier and Ariel Anderson, graduated in 2021 from the Grosse Pointe High School district. So same school district. Pretty fucking crazy. Terrible. So again, students were told to shelter in place. Authorities searched for this piece of shit. Here he is. His name, I'm just going to say it. Anthony McRae, who I guess is a black male of Scottish or Irish descent. I'm not sure.
He's dead, so fuck him. You know,
Yeah,
fuck
fuck
this
him.
piece of shit murdering douchebag.
Previous run-in with the laws include misdemeanor conviction for possessing a loaded firearm, 2019, 2 misdemeanors in 2006 for driving with a suspended license. He was on a 1.5-year probation, which ended in 21. I guess he thought since probation ended that it was okay for him to kill people. So maybe if he'd stayed on probation longer, he would have thought it wasn't okay to kill
Didn't
people.
have a very good parole officer.
Yeah,
then.
not very good. So his dad basically said he turned evil when his mom died, which is no excuse, but that's what his dad is saying to the press.
I tried to parent it out of him, but I just gave up.
Well, he's
It's
40
really his
something.
mom's death's fault.
Yeah.
How is his mom's death when he's 40 the reason? I mean, and like his dad's not. It's terrible. The guy's a piece of shit. I can't believe.
So
it.
what was his connection? Why is he shooting students up? What is his fucking problem?
Zero connection. The motive so far is
There's
just that
just
he was
people around.
He was just a lonely loser. That's the only motive they have so far. On his Facebook page, which has now been taken down, there was a quote from the biblical book of Luke, which said, "I have given you the authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you, except a bullet to his own head. That'll harm him," and it did. He also had in his pocket a note that contained threats against 2 schools in New Jersey where he once lived, and luckily he didn't understand that if you kill yourself, you can't carry out future evil plans.
He's bullied or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because he's like threatening schools. Went to a college. Okay.
And I'm gonna play you
He
guys.
wasn't bullied at college. I'll tell you that much.
No, he didn't go to college. I'm going to play an interview with a student who was actually in the classroom when the shooting began. It's pretty impactful, pretty scary stuff. Here that is.
I think class, it was around, I'd like to say almost 8:20, it felt like. A little before then. I was sitting and my professor was lecturing, and then I heard, like, it was either 3 or 4, like, really, I could hear gunshots, like, directly behind my head. And I could see the smoke, like gunpowder or something from the weapon firing, and then I could smell. And immediately I dropped to the floor with all my classmates, and someone was yelling that there was a shooter and everybody needed to get down on the ground. And at that moment, I thought that I was going to die. I was so scared. I didn't cry, which is surprising for me. I just kind of kept quiet, and I called my mom. And Mom, what did you hear on the phone? When
I heard 3 gunshots and screaming, and we jumped in our car and drove up there.
And after I heard those gunshots, my classmates in the back of the classroom started to scream for help. And my other classmates jumped into action and trying to help everyone.
Heroes.
If it weren't for my classmates helping everyone, I don't think that we would have all made it, because immediately someone was like, we need to break open this window. We need to break open this window. So they immediately after he was done firing and the kids in the back were screaming for help, I saw a boy, and he had his shirt off, and he was running to see if he could go and close the door, because the shooter, he came in through the back door. So there's a door here and there's a door
Wanted to
here.
pop his shirt off
and he
for
came
that?
through
Just
the
saying.
back, and he just started attacking people. And I will never forget the screams of my classmates as they were screaming in pain.
So she goes on. Terrible stuff. I mean, just
Sorry if that joke didn't land. I tried one.
No,
one.
it's okay.
You know,
It's tough.
He could have been in great shape.
Tourniquet.
Good effort. I mean,
Tourniquet.
Could have been in
guys.
great shape. What if he was in great shape, but he's like, now's the time to show off.
Tourniquet
All
guys
hard work.
usually are in pretty good shape. Yeah.
So she goes on to
in
describe
gym.
how her classmates helped the students get through the window. There was someone that luckily was at the base of the building, catching them, getting them to safety. So luckily, these students sprung into action. And
Yeah, the videos of them, it's like a stampede of students trying to
it's
get away
Yeah,
from
the
the
video
shooting
sucks.
locations.
They're
It's
run.
insane.
Yeah, that video sucks.
Yeah, we've seen the video. It's chaos. So this, of course, it was on the eve of the 5-year, I hate to use the word anniversary for tragedies, but 5 years from the 2018 shooting at Parkland, where 17 people were murdered. Pretty soon, it's just everything's going to be an anniversary. Every day is going to be the anniversary of another shooting.
Right.
It's
Which inspires some of these sickos to do it on anniversaries too, right?
right, exactly.
Remember Columbine, back in
Columbine.
the day, some people would do it on the anniversaries of that.
Yeah, that was kind of the original, and then
Right.
kind of
Like,
sprung
it's just
from there. A lot of
disgusting.
copycats.
Absolutely. And this was crazy.
Not to say there
woman-
wasn't
Fucking
shootings in
sickos.
America before that. There was a lot.
There
but-
were.
but,
There were the
but,
one in
but
Texas.
not a lot.
The school,
Not
the
a ton,
school
yeah.
stuff. The school stuff was
the
Columbine.
mass
Texas,
shootings.
Texas Clock Tower was a big one back in the day, but they're
really
very few and
shot
far
up.
between.
Yeah, Kent State was a
The
big one
era
early, too.
begins with Columbine.
The Combine era. Combine kind of like made the frequency.
The
a lot more
internet
common.
when these
I
losers
thought Kent
get
State was
in the
National
chat rooms
Guardsmen
together
killing
and
students.
No, Mark was talking about the clock
No,
tower.
Mark was
Yeah,
talking
Will
about
said
T1.
Kent State.
I said
Will
Kent State. There was a shooting on campus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're right, Wes. That was National Guard. I think.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, this is also crazy. This woman, her name is Jackie. Where is it? Hang on, I'll find it in a second. But anyway, she was at Sandy Hook as well back in.
I heard there might be two actually, but
Was
definitely
she at Parkland or Sandy Hook?
No, she was at Sandy
Sandy
Hook.
Hook.
She was at Sandy Hook.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
She was at Sandy Hook.
2012.
Yeah,
Her
11
name
years
is
ago,
Jackie Matthews, and she's now a senior at Michigan State
What are
University.
the odds of that? It's just like
Yeah.
you got to be kidding me. It's like
Yeah.
Insane.
preschool or elementary school and college mass shootings. Like fuck.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Fucking crazy. So that's what's going on there. We'll just wait for the next one, I guess. Let's go to Ukraine to check in on the war, which is still very bloody.
Did they say what type of weapon he was using? I mean, I see people calling for like gun control or whatever. What did they?
I don't know, Will. I don't think it was like an AK-47
Right,
based on the
I
pictures
saw
that you
hunting
saw.
rifle, so it's like,
Well,
yeah.
Well, in the pictures you saw him entering the building, I didn't see if it was. It looked like he didn't have a large weapon with him, right? So there's pictures of him.
The only
on
thing,
surveillance
only
camera.
description I ever saw was hunting rifle. I just don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, Wes. Let's just move on. But I was just curious if they ever.
Yeah, I mean,
that
if you look at the picture of the surveillance of him entering the building, I can't see him holding a big
I haven't seen
rifle or
anything clear
anything,
enough
so,
either.
Yeah. So, anyway, let's go to Ukraine. We haven't been there. We haven't checked in on how the war is going. And guess what? It's still
Good?
shitty.
It's good?
Yeah. No,
Oh,
it's
no.
still really bloody. A lot of life being lost.
Darn.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be. I thought you were gonna say good.
No. Well, the good thing
You're
is
saying the
From
war
natural
is
causes?
still bad. Oh,
it's cold over there, so people are dying of freezing.
yeah.
No,
That's a classic war over there. Those
why we're
parts.
talking about it today is that a new report came out that the Ukrainian soldiers are just kind of mopping the floor with Russian soldiers, at least in certain battles, including the 155th Naval Infantry. They stormed the Ukrainian coal mining city of Vuhledar near Donetsk in late January, and reports are that Ukrainian forces killed, injured, or captured 5,000 Russian troops in that one battle alone, including some high-ranking elite commanders, special elite, fighters, probably
Yeah.
some from the Putin's, death squad, whatever the
Wagner group?
Hindsight's 2020, but let's say someone besides Russia blew up the Nord Stream. Maybe it was us. Maybe it was Norway. Maybe it was whoever, England. Maybe it was Russia. Maybe it was Ukraine.
Okay.
Hindsight, maybe we didn't really need to because Ukraine's whooping their ass. Like.
Right. That was just to take the funding away.
Right, but still, I mean, even with the funding, I think Ukraine was going to whoop that ass. Everyone, it looks like
they're doing a lot better than they
Well,
thought.
they're
they were
doing
gonna
it.
do.
They have NATO tech, so they're getting all of NATO's equipment, and so I mean they're performing really well with it. It's
They've
impressive.
got millions of drones, it looks like. Reports from the UK intelligence suggest that Russia is losing over 800 troops a day in this war. One ex.
that sucks too, right? Like
It sucks.
These are all young kids.
They're kids.
Oh, not
War
only
sucks.
that, not only that on that side, that's horrible. All these young kids in the Red Army dying, their families never going to see them again. On the other side, there's reports that the Russians are holding Ukrainian children in detention camps and have been since the start
There's
of the war.
been war crimes.
It's war. It's horrible.
There's been
It's
horrible
horrible.
war
There's
atrocities.
Rapes. There's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all kinds of
horrible.
just nasty
It's
shit.
war. Disgusting.
One ex paramilitary commander, Russian, Igor Gherkin, he's a life sentence for downing the Malaysian
Of
Airlines
course, his
flight.
name's Igor, yeah.
He said that Russian generals are, quote, complete morons who don't learn from their own mistakes. So
Good way to stay in jail, Igor.
Yeah, really.
Do we have a picture of that giant fat one that they brought in? That was the
No,
best.
No, yeah, that guy was awesome. Yeah, they're all big fat morons. Anyway, Putin is getting desperate for soldiers, right? So he's sending in tons more troops now, but also to continue his war, he has now ordered high schoolers to start training with grenades and rifles in schools. Newsweek reported that a local court in
End the
St.
war, dude.
That's getting bad.
Yeah.
That's beyond a draft. That's like every man is going to die for this cause.
Yeah, 10th and 11th graders from a local court in St. Petersburg, they have to be equipped with an assortment of items that are to be used by teachers and students as part of so-called initial military training program. And they learn how to assemble, disassemble, provide first aid. how to respond to a nuclear chemical attack. It was abolished in 1993 and then reinstated. This program was so. They're just preparing the kids to go
Bring
right
back
out of
the
school.
Soviet era.
Yeah,
I heard one of the tactics they're using is they're essentially saying like, tired of your parents getting on you about Joule?
Yeah.
No one get on you about Joule in Russian
You
army.
want so much Nikki
Joule
in the
all
Red
day.
Army.
Yeah.
liquor and
Definitely
cigs.
Joule.
Yeah, exactly.
PS5 bricks.
Whenever.
Also, a retired lieutenant general and current member of Russia's parliament wants to introduce a mandatory 6 months military training for Russia's youth, so they can just continue to feed the war as everyone dies.
We got to open up the borders for Russians. Like,
Dude, I mean, it's fucking.
we got to let Russian refugees in.
Yeah.
'Cause fuck that.
Yeah,
place.
and Putin isn't slowing down.
Well, that's
And
there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's like why is nobody interested at all? I mean, Putin, every time anybody is like, "Oh, we're interested in peace talks," the other side is like, "No," and then it just continues forever. It's like it's
weird. It's weird. It's been going on so
no,
long.
he's ramping up. The guy, the NATO Secretary General,
But what does
said
he
that-
want? Just those
that he's
two
just
stupid
ramping up.
territories again? Like, or is he like? What does he want?
no, it's
now
all
he's
over the
still gonna
Donbass
lose.
still.
He wants all of
Still-
Ukraine now. He just wants to save face. He just
It's
what
just
is
over
it?
the
exactly.
Donbass still.
Yeah.
It's still, and then Ukraine now is saying that it's got to be total victory or nothing. Like Russians completely
Right now they're just
expelled
all
even from
pumped
the-
up because of all the
even
fucking
from
war
the territory
crimes.
they've held
They've
since
lost so
2014.
much already.
So it's
fuck
like,
it.
right. So now it's like both sides are like, no, it's all or nothing. It's all on. So it's like, and NATO is riding, sending tanks.
I mean,
America's
one
sending
thing we
tanks.
know is that Ukrainian and Russian men have a lot of machismo. It's hard to get those guys to calm down once they're going.
Oh yeah, I mean they're voluntarily. I mean, can you imagine us voluntarily picking up a weapon and fighting?
No,
I
the
mean,
Ukrainian and Russian
wouldn't do it.
average male is 10 times tougher than the average
Well,
American.
we also
male.
didn't have our homes invaded by Russians. I think it's quite a bit of different situation for the Ukrainians, especially.
Yeah.
But I
when
mean, like
they're
all of
defending
them,
their
they're all
Trying
like
to give them more
MMA fighters, or they're all like professional boxers. Like the average Ukrainian's pretty badass.
So you got, just real quick, just the average male Ukrainian height, 10.26 inches. Average male Russian height, just 5'10" flat. So
Yeah, but
they got
there are
the
a lot
extra
of
point,
wrestlers, right? You don't need to be tall if you got that base.
okay,
Also,
And the Klitschko's are like 8 feet tall, so that brings up the average.
it does bring up the average, yeah. But one of them had a baby with Hayden Panettiere, and I think
She's
that baby's
little.
over there. Yeah.
Also, this piece of shit, Putin, is just apparently traveling around on a secret railway in a heavily armored train, like Kim Jong,
Right.
Un.
How do you
gonna
get
ask
secret
Wes.
railway?
Yeah.
Well, the secret railway is he's got secret.
Secret, don't look at
They
it.
just tell him that? Yeah.
It's not for
yeah.
you.
It's so secret. You're right.
Well, he's got railways going to all of his residents. So they built railways to all of his residents so he can take this armored train, and he uses it because it's harder to track than a plane or whatever.
Dude, that is so sick, though. Think about that. Like, that is one of the most baller-ass dictator leader moves ever, to get a fucking private train right to your residence and then right to work. Your own train. Like, think about
I
that.
mean, when
commute,
you're a
man.
dictator of like one of the top 10 economies, it's pretty doable.
It's
So-
like
Smart of him. when
it's
you
a
think
way
about
more badass version of is it Casino when Pesci has to keep switching the cars, or is that Goodfellas? They keep switching the cars in the garage and they throw the people off.
I think
it's
that's
Casino.
Well, it's probably both.
Well, it's not
both. They're
Goodfellas.
being
I think
bombed
it's
for
Casino.
both. Casino.
And it's like that. Like he just keeps switching the cars in the
You
garage.
think he's got a chef on
Right.
there?
So, Wes, what's the latest on the coup attempts? Did you see? Is it going to go down? Is anybody going to
Have
do
there
it? Is
been
it-
any?
No,
Anybody's gonna get him from the armored train?
I don't think anyone's getting near the armored train. They don't know where he is, and he's too armored.
It's too secret.
Right. Do you think he
Too
gets
secret.
Beegers on there? He's got
Yes.
chicks?
So many BJs.
Yes.
Kidding me?
He's getting
He's got a
busted
he's got a
down, like,
specific
every hour
car
on the
for
hour.
BJ.
Pat.
It's the BJ car.
There's one guy that hates cleaning up the secret car.
Oh, man, the bust down car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to the bus down car again.
Honestly, I'd like
Secret
to
is
bust
it's
up the bust
slippery.
down car.
Yeah. Boy, they're frisky today. So yeah, that's what's going on in Russia. Still a lot of that, and doesn't look like any end in sight.
Got anything good? Got anything good today?
Let's just get to the main story because there's some more jokes in there, and that is
The cream of the crop!
okay. Cream of the crop. Big news today is that the first Republican challenger to former President Donald Trump has come forward to announce her candidacy.
Republican, you
For
said?
the Republican nomination Yep. To face, hopefully not Joe Biden and his withering brain, but it's looking like Joe Biden.
Joe Biden
going to win my bet.
in his brain.
You are not going to win your bet. It's not going to happen.
Oh, dude, he's the candidate. There's no chance they're going to run anybody else.
We'll see.
Kamala?
We'll see.
Come on.
Well, Mayor Pete's out after this
Mayor
performance.
Pete's way out.
Yeah.
Mayor Pete's giving whole fucking
Mayor Pete
state's
might have won
cancer.
you. Mayor Pete might have won you the bet.
You can't even win a mayor position.
Yeah.
He won't win a mayor race again.
No. You can't.
Anyway, that woman is, again, Nikki Haley, former governor of South Carolina, the first minority elected to that position in a notoriously racist state. And she's the former United States ambassador to the UN also. First minority there, too, appointed by President Trump. After her ambassador
She was
position,
good as the UN. We played a few videos of her when
we've
the
had
show
our
was
eye on Nikki
new.
for a while. We've kind of called
We
this,
did.
saying that this is probably going to be a move that she does
Yes.
run for president. So
She was a star back then.
Yeah.
Right. She gave one really good speech at the UN, and I think like it did a lot for to boost her
I don't think
political
she's going to
career.
win though.
No, she's a little bit out of touch, as you'll see in the video that I'm going to play later. So according to ChatGPT, a woman can make just as good a leader as a man can, and is perfectly capable of not letting emotions get
How
in the way
long
of
did
their
it take?
decision making.
How long did it take to?
It was
answer that?
blinking for a good
bars.
30
Yeah.
seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good 30-second blink.
Yeah.
So I think ChatGPT needs some tweaking, but we'll see. Overall, she did a lot of great things for South Carolina. She brought in big businesses like Boeing and BMW, education reform, jobs creation. She was heavily criticized for refusing to immediately take down the Confederate flag over the South Carolina Capitol back in 2017 or 2015. I can't remember when that
flying
piece
it,
of
huh?
shit.
Yeah.
No, they took it down. She took it down.
No, I know, but in
But
2017,
up until then, it's kind of
right?
Oh, yeah.
That's
Right.
that's how
20,
many years after the end of the Civil War? I mean, it's
a while, yeah. After the
they're
white
holding on,
supremacists killed those 9 black people at a church in Charleston. So she faced some
yeah.
criticism
Killing
for
Ruth.
that.
Wow.
She was fined $3,500 by the South Carolina Ethics Commission for basically taking state-owned planes for personal and political
but who
purposes.
doesn't do
who gives
Right,
a fuck
yeah.
about that,
Cares.
right?
I mean, come on.
all
Putin's got
politicians.
secret planes.
This is always I'm saying this is
Do not
she's
look at the
pretty
plane.
squeaky.
Right.
She's pretty
All politicians have some kind of campaign finance slap on the wrist. It happens to literally.
She took
all
a vacation or two.
that have
Who
been in it
cares?
for a long time.
And so she was a big, proponent of Trump back when he ran in 2016. She supported him. And then recently she was critical, saying that he had a role in the January 6th, riots, insurrection, whatever you want to call it. So she was actually censured by the South Carolina Republican Party for that criticism. So she's not she's a little bit of a, kind of like not like a Trump gal. Some people like her in the Republican Party, some people don't. If
A lot of people are
if you're a
shifting
Trump
off
guy,
of
you
Trump,
don't like
right?
her. Yeah,
Trump's people have been jumping ship.
I think this hurts Trump most of all because this isn't going to shake a DeSantis backer probably. But Trump, she is Trump adjacent. She was part of his cabinet. So I think this just splits his votes, makes me think even more that it's going to be Ron DeSantis versus Joe Biden. That's
Versus
Splits his
not
votes in the
Joe
primary,
Biden.
though,
Mark
you
wins his bet.
Nah, I think it's going to be DeSantis. Biden is like what it's
DeSantis
seeming
Biden's
like, but
looking
we'll
good,
see.
yeah.
But I feel like horses entering the primary race, right? Like it can really go anyway, and
could go,
we don't
for sure.
DeSantis right now, if you ran him against like Biden, there's a chance DeSantis wins straight up. But we're talking about primary. Like there's a lot to learn about these candidates,
Yeah,
right?
primaries are interesting. They're their own beast.
talking about
But
primaries.
do you want to be the first to enter? Usually not, right? Usually the first entry.
Trump was the first to hop in.
Was he
and,
the very
Trump
first to hop in?
entered in like
He was
96.
very soon, yeah.
Yeah, he's very first. He wants. Well, Trump wants to, as Pat knows from the text messages, Trump wants to fundraise the most. He
Oh, big
wanted to
time.
get. He wanted to get those 80 fundraising texts a day to every number on his Rolodex going out. So
Okay, so a lot of you morons out there don't know who Nikki Haley is. I didn't really know too much about her
Well,
either.
we wouldn't know if we didn't do this show. Let's be
Of
honest.
course.
Most of us will.
But
might
it's
know
fun
who
to
she is,
call
but
people morons.
yeah,
so,
yeah.
but it still would be a little obscure because her biggest role. South Carolina governor, but the biggest role to date has been.
I had no idea
UN
she was
ambassador.
No one
I had
cares
no
about,
idea she was
no
South
one
Carolina
cares
governor.
about the UN, dude.
No clue.
No one pays attention to the fucking UN.
Anyway,
The only
let's
thing people
introduce
may
you
see
to
her
her.
from is that speech, the UN
Yeah.
speech. That's
Let's
it.
introduce you to her. Here is her official campaign announcement video. It's a little bit long, but I think it's important that since she's the first, candidate and woman stepping forward, here it is.
The railroad tracks divided the town by race. I was the proud daughter of Indian immigrants. not black, not white.
Both parents are Indian.
I was different. But my mom would always say your job is not to focus on the differences, but the similarities. And my parents reminded me and my siblings every day how blessed we were to live in America. Some look at our past as evidence that America's founding principles are bad. They say the promise of freedom is just made up. Some think our ideas are not just wrong, but racist and evil. Nothing could be further from the truth. I have seen evil. In China, they commit genocide. In Iran,
She lived in
they
China?
murder their own people for challenging the government.
During the UN.
And when a woman tells you about watching soldiers throw her baby into a fire, it puts things in
Jesus,
perspective.
Nikki.
Even on our worst day, we are blessed to live in America. I was born and raised in South Carolina, so I have seen the very best of our country. People here threw out the old, tired political establishment and demanded accountability for their tax dollars. Industry reports called us the beast of the Southeast, which I loved. People came by the thousands for fresh starts. Moms and dads held their heads up high. Children learned that it was always
It's a great day in South Carolina. It's a great day.
It's a great day.
A great day.
a great day in South Carolina. We were strong. We were proud.
This is too long. Does she?
And when
This is.
evil
This is.
We're about halfay through. Yeah.
This is like the super couple.
Are looking for a gunman following a shooting at a church.
Several victims. We don't know.
We've come this far.
Severity.
We turned away from fear
Oh no.
toward God
Well, when you said halfway,
and
I
the
was more
values
concerned.
that still make our country the freest and greatest in the world. We must turn in that direction again. Republicans have lost the popular vote in 7 out of the last 8 presidential elections. That has to change. Joe Biden's record is abysmal, but that shouldn't come as a surprise. The Washington establishment has failed us over and over and over again. It's time for a new generation of leadership to rediscover fiscal responsibility, secure our border, and strengthen
just
our
one part I
country,
want you
our
guys to
pride,
shit
and our purpose.
Oh no. It's a good. It's good comments.
This is just an ad for Nikki Haley.
Some
It is.
people look at America
It's her ad,
and
right?
see
The whole show.
vulnerability. The socialist left sees an opportunity to rewrite history. China and Russia are on the march. They all think we can be bullied, kicked around. You should know this about me. I don't put up with bullies. And when you kick back, it hurts them more if you're wearing heels.
Oh.
I'm Nikki Haley,
Okay.
and I'm running for president.
That was good.
Got to the punchline.
The beginning and the ending was good.
She waited till the end to hit you with the
beginning-
heel.
Why was
The
it
ending was
3
good.
minutes in between? This is
I feel like
insane.
she missed some shit. I mean, like no one, like our forefathers had a great concept, and they were more progressive in their language, the principles which founded this country, than they really meant to be. Right? All men are created equal. No one argues with that shit. What is she talking about?
No, I think she was saying Republicans get a bad name for racist ideas, but it's not true. I think that's what her point was. Right.
Right. That's her. That's
She was
what-
bringing
that's
up
what
just.
her-
She wasn't bringing up the forefathers in particular. She was saying like her. She kept trying to talk about the Republican Party.
Right,
and-
she's
and
trying
how
to say, like, look,
they get scapegoated for being racist.
being pro-America
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
isn't
right.
being racist. That's
Right,
what
right.
she's trying
That's
to say.
what she's trying to say.
Also,
I didn't have
like,
anything wrong with what she
being
said
a
besides
patriot.
South Carolina being like the best state in the country. That was.
Oh
a
yeah,
little
she
bit-
showed
It's
the,
so
she showed
hilarious.
the
Worst.
bridge of Charleston being like, this
Come
is
on,
what
the
America
and then
is.
Clemson meeting at the Paul and stuff. Get
They
out.
integrated like what a decade ago. I want to say.
Yeah, I mean,
She was the governor that took down the Confederate flag, as Wes told us.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, she also did the classic like politician where she's like, Washington has failed us time and time again. The 7 of the last 8 votes or whatever, and she was part of one of those administrations that
Right.
she's saying failed time
Right.
and time
True.
again. So it's
Yes.
always the same. It's like these politicians were
just
always
another
involved
one.
in
she's
the
got the
things that
same
they are
script
now
writers
calling a
that
failure.
It's the same. She's a
the same shit.
she's
not
a
going
politician.
anywhere. Yeah,
she's
she's
a
a
she's
I do want to say
It's this
She's a
politics,
well-oiled
man.
politician.
It's this
So
party politics, especially
Yeah,
because
yes.
it's all the same people in the party, and it is forever and ever.
Here, I want to bring up a comment real quick. Sorry, Pat. Steven C says she's like the GOP Hillary, and I pretty much at this point.
Yeah,
She
pretty
kind
much.
of is. Kind of is.
I want to say something. So in the
Party
music business, the biggest mistake that you can do, right? The biggest trope, right, is to take your bio photo in front of or on train tracks. Yeah. It's like one of the numero unos that you just don't do. That was essentially a press photo in front of the train tracks.
Yeah, thing, right?
It's like a Nickelback.
It was the thing way back in the day.
Week.
It became a cliche. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you? Before we end, a couple more things. What do you guys think Trump's going to call her? He has to have a nickname. I came up with a few that I think he would like.
Bloody Mary.
Okay, so first one is Tits Haley, of course. Vagina Brain Haley.
Yeah.
Right? Chotty Nikki.
Nookie Haley.
You get that one? If you got that one, I'm impressed. Chotty Nikki.
Hickey Nikki.
Or phrases like, we don't want non of Nikki.
That's good.
Nikki makes me barfy, which is another Indian dish.
Okay.
Or Nimrod Nimrata, because of course Nikki's Indian and that's her original. Her actual name is Nimrata.
Nimrod makes sense.
Yeah, Nimrod Nimrata.
Oh, he's gonna call her by her
name's
real
Nimrata.
name. That's it.
Oh, for
he's
sure.
He's gonna call her by her real name.
sure.
I like Nookie Haley.
Yeah, Nikki Haley.
I gotta say that's the only thing I like about Donald Trump.
Shoddy.
is that
I think he also
Shoddy.
might
He
go.
He picks great nicknames.
I also think he might go with Nutty Nikki. It's Nutty Nikki over
Yeah,
there.
Nutty Nikki. She's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Predicted has her
He loves saying somebody's nuts.
at 11 cents right now, behind Trump leading 38
She's
cents.
a player,
DeSantis.
and she's a player. Look, America could use a woman in charge. It's long overdue. I'm not saying it's necessarily her we need, but we need.
I
a
think
woman
she's.
at some
I think
point.
she's
Yeah.
putting her
She's
name.
a strong candidate. She's
putting her name in the ring when as a woman at a chance where it makes sense for her.
Yeah.
As the first person to go in on the Republican side, she's going to
Strong
make it a lot
candidate.
tougher for
Both
other
sides
women
should have women leadership
on the Republican side. So she should, be able to make some noise with that.
I agree.
If she can run a good campaign.
Why does he call DeSantis Meatball Ron?
She's chunky, a little bit chunky.
Yeah. He's a meatball.
And he's
Yeah, but
Italian.
Don's
Italian.
so
Meatballs.
chunky, too.
Come on.
Don's
It's a racist
Racist fat
and
joke,
physical fat. Yeah.
Just check.
Come on.
All right.
Make sure I didn't miss anything.
So if all this has you got,
It's Plumber Ron.
yeah.
Look, nothing he has said is stuck to Ron yet, unfortunately.
Floppy
That's why I
Ron.
think it's- That's the
Three are DeSanctimonious, Shut Down Ron, and Meatball Ron.
He has a problem with Ron. Ron's a
Yeah,
problem.
he does. If Ron announces, I think Trump is a little bit
Ron's going to
cooked.
announce.
Yeah, then he's gone.
But hey, guys, if all this news, crazy news, has you pulling your hair out, I've got the solution. It's Nutrafol. Okay, did you guys know that you don't have to choose between better hair growth and your health? Did you know that?
You don't.
I didn't until this week.
Yeah, there's a holistic solution for men that promotes both healthier hair and whole body wellness, which is unbelievable. So now you know. And I'm, of course, talking about Nutrafol. When I start losing my hair, like some of the hosts, I'm going to go with Nutrafol. It's probably the best product out there, right? It's the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement, clinically shown to improve your hair growth, thickness, and visible scalp coverage. Nutrafol's hair growth nutraceuticals go beyond genetics to multi-target the root causes of thinning, including stress, hormones, nutrition, metabolism, aging, and lifestyle through whole body health. Physician formulated using natural medical grade ingredients, Nutrafol's drug-free patented technology provides consistent, reliable results without compromising your sexual health. Nobody wants to compromise their sexual health, right? It's in a clinical study, meds showed
I'm telling you, I'm taking this stuff. No problem.
No problem. with your
It's on my
sexual
no
health.
compromise list, Wes. I'm glad you hear that.
Of course.
I mean, I think we should tell them, because there's part of this that they say talk about thickness. They should say stay thick couple ways. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
5 C's.
Down there and on your hair.
Yes.
Right. In a clinical study, men showed progressive improvement in hair growth and thickness after 3 and 6 months. Listen, you don't have to be sad anymore. Just grow your hair back with Nutrafol, right? It's also trusted and recommended by over 30,000 top doctors. So you can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com/men and entering promo code HARDFACTOR to save $15 off your first month's subscription. This is the best offer anywhere, and it's only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. So, plus free shipping on every order. Get $15 off at Nutrafol.com/men, spelled Nutrafol.com/men, promo code HARDFACTOR.
There you go. All right, boys, let's get right into it. I'm going to put a photograph up, and you let me know if you recognize this lady.
Oh, yeah. I remember her.
What do you remember about her?
So she had a fake. She did something with assaulting.
The neck tattoo, Florida.
She's a murderer.
Florida.
She's a murderer. Yep, she's definitely a murderer, and she did assault Will.
Was it Florida or I feel like it may have been somewhere else?
No, it was up north, way up north, Wisconsin.
She killed her ex-boyfriend?
Wisconsin, that's right. And she had a social media profile that claimed she lived in Sacramento, California.
Didn't she have his kidney in a bucket or something like that?
She killed her ex.
By kidney, you mean head and penis?
Yeah,
right, there's the ones.
Mm-hmm. Then she did. Guys, that is Taylor Shabusiness.
Shabusiness.
And let me tell you, she gave the shabusiness to her attorney yesterday as she was waiting for the judge to schedule her murder trial for decapitating her lover during sex and then stuffing his severed head and penis into a bucket. Does that ring more of a bell?
Oh, yeah, shabusiness. I did this story. Yeah,
it's unusual for her, too.
Her handle is at Miss Shabusiness.
Right.
Because usually she's the one giving head. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
She gives you the business.
Yeah, she does.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She's a real psycho. She got charged, guys, for the murder of Shad Thyron, strangulation murder, and then also charged for sexually abusing his lifeless body, mutilating the corpse. She's the one that was using like a butter knife, and she said this is the best kind because it's serrated to cut a head off. At the time, disgusting. She, believe it or not, she was wearing an electronic monitoring device for an unrelated crime, and she took it off to murder. Anyway, pretty horrible.
She's like a praying mantis.
She's like a praying mantis.
The family was like absolutely devastated. This little kid.
Cut the head off.
It was a man, but it was a man who I think was like she was much like
a 25-year-old American.
Like, physically bigger than it was
he's a little guy.
Well, he got choked out by her strangulation. It's literally like a praying mantis. She was bigger and then she just destroyed him.
Yeah,
right. She's the one. One more highlight from the murder. She explained that she planned on taking all the body parts, but she quote got lazy and only ended up putting the leg and the foot in a van, and she completely forgot the head, which was in a bucket with the penis.
Back to that.
She's also like
a lot of work
so
with
whacked out on meth.
Got the head.
Right? She was so spun.
Methed out. So that, we covered all about the ground all abouts of her initial crime. So the judge, Thomas J. Walsh.
Good to see her again.
Yeah, you're going to see her. The judge, Thomas J. Walsh, I guess he's got some conflicts coming up around March 6th where her murder trial was initially scheduled to start. So Walsh said, hey, look, we're going to move the murder trial to May 15, okay? And it turns out that was at the request of her attorney, Quinn Jolly, okay? So I guess she was really excited about getting this thing underway, and Quinn and the judge were like, well, May 15's okay. So he recommends it, and then, guys, I'm going to play this video, and what you're going to hear at home is just an absolute domination by the bailiff who has to restrain Shabusiness as she gives her attorney the
she
Shabusiness.
Finally got some
Whoa.
Whoa! The tackle there was successful.
Oh, man. Stop it. She's a banshee.
Yeah, she is.
So now the bailiff's on top of her. Oh, she's aggressive.
You want to see it from a different angle?
Yeah, that was intense.
She's giving him the business, though.
If she wasn't cuffed, she would have got her lawyer's
All right, here's the other angle.
fucking neck.
We're going to change the date from March 6th to May 15th, if that's right, Mr. Hawley? You said that was what you wanted to do, right?
Damn. The bailiff was on it, though. She's kicking her ass. She's kicking her ass. She lost her shoe.
Rachel, call.
Her grounded, her like takedown defense is terrible. She's got nothing. She just
It's
keeps
like a
backing
Street
up.
Fighter.
Relax, Taylor.
Noises.
Stop.
You had to have had some of these.
He's smothering her.
Well, she's struggling hard. She won't quit.
She's got your cord.
Yeah, his cord, the guy's cord
for
his walkie mic is wrapped around her toes now.
Gun.
He needs to choke her out at this point. I mean, she's just not going to give up.
She freed it from her toe.
The judge was like, okay, we'll keep it March 6th.
March 6th, did you say?
Yeah.
think they'd have like a few more people coming in by now to help this
Yeah,
fucking
can
guy
somebody
out.
help this guy out?
There we go.
Like-
There they are.
Okay, finally.
Yeah, where was he?
Just one officer laying on top of her for 30 minutes.
Oh, you have to go out, sir.
You're wrong courtroom, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Damn. Business.
Pat, tell me you added some of those noises.
They were all added.
Okay.
None of that audio was real.
All right, perfect. That was awesome.
But that's not what the internet's going to think when we
that was
post it online as
Oh, no,
exclusive
they'll
audio
believe
clips.
that. That's
Of the
for sure.
woman, yeah. She they then I cut it early, but they ended up just like she chilled out eventually. I mean that she's kind of hot, so the bailiff definitely enjoyed that. And then eventually they sat her down like in timeout. She looked like a dejected toddler in timeout there. And then presumably they resumed the trial.
They put like the spit mask on her.
No, they just sat her there because you knew he knew her because Taylor, relax.
They kept calling her Taylor. Yeah,
Taylor,
she
try to
fights-
relax her.
She fights the guards and maybe more. You know?
And by the way,
the bailiff did a good job of hurting her, but he was probably like when the other guy came, he's like, I need a minute to get up because he had like a boner. He's like,
oh, dude, totally.
Give me a minute.
I stumbled on this TikTok of this woman who was in jail, and she's sharing her experience of fucking the guards when she's in jail. And it's not like a negative experience. She's like, I wanted to fuck the guards.
Right, because they're the
I had
ones
to get
with
extra
dicks in
lunch. Yeah.
And she was like, this happens all the time. Anyway,
Best thing
For
about
sure,
being a
dude.
guard.
Your business, don't put it past her that she might be banging a guard, guys.
yeah,
Let's
crazy.
be
Ah.
honest with ourselves.
guard.
Yeah. Neck tattoo with a
Guards.
rack. I mean, have you ever heard a bailiff? It's against court rules, probably. You can't supposed to call her Miss Shabusiness.
He kept calling her baby. He's like, calm down, baby.
Taylor,
Search for sex is the best trade in the business.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
He's
And
just
you-
shaking the jellos.
Oh, you want a Jello for a blowjob? Okay.
Who wants a Jello? It's like the nightstick against the metal bars, but it's a Jello. He's just running the Jellos against the bars.
No problem.
Any takers?
And if she doesn't finish the jello, you get to have both. Oh my God! All right, okay. Let's move on to our second story real quick. There's some disastrous situations going on in the East Bay of California related to cyclists and a trend that's taking place. Some people are taking back the road. Let's take the local news clip to hear more.
They've been deliberately knocked to the ground by drivers who are slowing down and opening car doors in their path.
The cyclists I talked to told me they are sure these were no accidents. They are concerned that there's a group of people targeting cyclists, and they say next time someone could get seriously hurt or even killed.
I have 8 stitches and this big gash in my forehead.
Oakland cyclist Ellie Mead showed us injury she got after she said she was intentionally doored while riding her bike Friday evening.
On the passenger side, they opened the passenger door, kind of slowed down the car. My bike rammed right into it. I fell down on the ground. They drove away. As they drove away, they were laughing.
What's called dooring is when a car door is opened right in the path of a bicyclist. Mead later found out she was not the only cyclist who was hit that night. In a social media post by Bay Area Bike Party, several others chimed in, saying they too had drivers chase them down, swerve into them, or open doors in their path. The group shared several videos like this one that shows what appears to be an attempted dooring.
It is very scary. I mean, this is just out-and-out criminality, and the people doing it should really think about the consequences here.
Watson Ladd from Berkeley had a similar experience Thursday.
cycling,
Ladd said he was riding home after work on King
his
Street
first
toward
bullying,
Adeline
unfortunately.
when a car door whacked him in the shoulder.
They pulled on out ahead after the roundabout. As they passed, opened their door, smacked me in the shoulder, and just drove off.
Ladd wants
knocked me
drivers
off
to
my
realize
Huffy.
the roads
It's
to be
hurtful.
shared, and cyclists are vulnerable. After hearing about others
I'm gonna
who
play
were
some
hit during
Blues
their
Traveler.
rise, Ladd is sure this was no accident.
They
Blues
opened
Traveler.
the door knowing I was there. They deliberately tried to kill me.
Members of the East Bay
Okay.
Bike Party say at least 14 cyclists were targeted from Thursday through Saturday in Oakland, Berkeley, and Emeryville.
And cyclists tell me that they believe that these people are in the same car because they were able to write down the license plate number in several cases. So again, they are concerned that this might be the same person or group of people who are, for whatever reason, targeting cyclists.
They've had enough of the cyclists. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
dude.
that. Yeah. It's payback.
So anyway, watch out if you're cycling out there. This is the perp right here. They got a pretty good shot of the buddy in the
That is a
background
good
that's
shot.
laughing, enduring.
He's
Yeah,
the
he
guy
looks
that
like-
shouts out, "Doored!"
He looks like
Dude,
a
it's a group-
tattoo-less Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
It's a group of kids who cannot stand cyclists, and they go out and they hit them with their doors.
Yeah.
So
Look, that's
They'll get
probably
caught.
that's too far, but I understand their angst towards cyclists. Yeah.
I mean, that guy, the guy complaining kind of summed it up. He claimed his life was threatened upon by a guy hitting him with the door.
For every video we have of a door, we have 15 of a lady screaming at a guy walking his dog, or like a guy in an ambulance just trying to do his job. You know?
That poor guy, man. He was like, I don't know what it is. My entire life, it seems like people have been coming at me, trying to kill me or hurt me. I don't get it. I don't know what it is about me.
He needs a hug. That guy needs a hug.
Want to see my phobus tattoo?
Literally everything I do, there's someone there just trying to punch me.
Cyclist was a loose term for him. He's got like a teenager's like fat huffy bike. Like,
double helmet.
Yeah, it's not a one speed.
Thanks for the fat time segment there. Sorry for taking a while, boys.
No worries. All right, I got a new segment for you. I'm calling Moron Mountain because these idiots' stupidity is mountainous, I'd say. First up, let's meet moron number one. Here's Kingsley Burnett, of a New York City resident who decided he's not getting any younger, so he wanted to travel the world. Let's do some bucket list shit, right? No better time than now. And what's one destination that's on a lot of people's bucket list and it's very far away?
Oh, very far away.
Yeah.
Thailand?
Tahiti.
Yeah, but it's actually pretty close to Tahiti. Will has a hat for it. He goes down under there a lot. Sydney, Australia, the Opera House.
Australia.
Sydney's great, right? So Kingsley books this big trip for January of 2023 to Sydney, Australia, and damn it, the airlines are having issues and the flight ends up getting delayed. You know, there's a bunch of butt fuckery going on in January, delays, COVID, all sorts of stuff, right? Yeah. So whatever, a trip gets delayed, bummer. It was a bad time for everyone traveling. But Kingsley doesn't take the money and run. He wants to go to Sydney, so he rebooks, and to Sydney he goes. But this time he misspells Sydney, and upon seeing a deal too good to be true, books a trip to Sydney with an I, Montana, in February.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Whoops.
There's so many Sydneys.
Where was he flying from?
New York to Sydney.
Is that him
Montana.
on the plane realizing?
That's him realizing it. Yep.
Oh, poor guy.
So he landed. Where in Montana did he land?
Yeah, that's Kingsley on the second leg of his plane trip where he finally realized he wasn't going to Australia. His first connection flight was to Billings, Montana, but apparently that didn't concern him, as he said, quote, that airport's a common location for travelers to connect to Sydney, Montana,
Obviously.
thanks to Yellowstone, right?
International hub.
Because of Yellowstone. Everyone's seen Yellowstone.
I
right?
flew into Billings this year. If you're walking out of the plane and not realizing you're in the wrong fucking place for a connection in Billings,
you
got
from New
bigger
York
problems.
to Billings.
Yeah,
Billings
you walk onto the tarmac at Billings.
Oh, Billings is a nothing burger airport.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
it's tiny.
obviously they would send all of the flights to Australia out of Billings, Montana.
Of
That
course.
makes the most sense.
Here's what he was looking at when he got to Billings. There's like large vehicles scraping ice off when he was like, I don't think I'm in the right place.
So it was summer down here.
Yeah,
There's Buffalo walking next to the airplane.
It was Billings to Sydney in Montana. Kingsley finally got that memo, he said, when he got on the plane, and there was a total of 9 people on the 12-person plane, and the pilot personally told all of them that they would be in Sydney in 23 minutes just after the large ice scrapings.
What is this, a spaceship?
Wait a second.
Yeah, that's when he got on the plane. He goes, oh, fuck, Kingsley, what'd you do?
Yeah, planes got fast.
Fuck, Kingsley.
Oh, man.
He did it again.
Did he enjoy it?
That dude is just such an oxymoron. Like to have the ambition, because to travel to Australia is a thing, man. Like it's expensive as fuck.
It's a long
flight.
It's gonna take forever, right? You gotta like really want to go to Australia, but then also to be that dumb.
Pretty
to
stupid,
not
right?
know.
Like Wes hinted at, spy planes and UFOs weren't the only object flying over Montana that shouldn't have been this past week. It was Kingsley as well. What'd you do, Kingsley? What'd you get yourself into, Kingsley? He did actually refer to himself in the third person, saying, I had to find out for myself that Billings, Montana would only take me to Sidney, Montana, where there are no kangaroos waiting to welcome Mr. Burnett, which is, that's him. He was planning on booking a cruise once in Australia, but after working with the American Airlines customer service, which he did, he made lemonade out of it. Here he is, having fun, taking pictures with the American Airlines rep.
You're not going to believe this.
In Montana.
But,
yeah.
I got to meet Dorothy. This is way better than Sydney.
She's like, I'm stupid too.
He's like, do you know the word "tis"?
He got a national story out of it.
Yeah, he probably got some free shit
on all kinds of websites,
did.
and he's going to get a trip to Australia, right, Mark?
Of course he is. Of course he is. He said, my story in a bottle ended with Carol Castellano, that's her, the picture, at the American Airlines counter as she tried to send me to the correct place. Unfortunately, that turned out to be back to New York City after a night out in Billings. Thanks, Carol. So he got one night out in Billings, but as you hinted at, there is a silver lining. First of all, Kingsley looks like a riot, and what they should do is mic him up and camera him up when he does go to Australia, which he's going to in June of this year. He's rebooked his flight. I'm sure also he's going to get some perks from this story, and they need to get this guy on camera because he seems like a fucking riot.
Hook this guy up, Qantas.
Yeah.
Imagine him trying to just go anywhere and not get lost. Like it would
Where
just
the
be electric
boomerangs
to watch. Yeah. Like he just tries to make it to any location without
staring at me.
Oh yeah, get this guy on The Amazing Race. As a team of one.
Watch him last one episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you make it across the outback?
Yeah, the fucking producers are just changing the rules every week to keep this guy on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there was a non-elimination leg again.
Yeah, again, damn.
Yeah.
Take me to paradise.
They're helping him out. Yeah, the cab driver is taking him where he
And
needs
now
to
for
go.
some comic relief.
Yeah.
He may have just struck gold in his career. His entertainment
Kingsley's in Paris, Texas.
If I'm a TV showrunner, I'm giving him a travel show. Absolutely.
Right.
Well, which airline? American? They should pay for the pilot episode at least, like you said, Mark.
Oh, he
Mic him
seems
up.
like he's talking about getting drunk in Billings and smiling with Carol. Like he looks
you
like
get the ticket, but you got to get
he's
mic'd up
traveling
when you go to
alone
Australia.
in his 50s. He looks like a riot. Okay, on to more on number 2. Someone shot and almost killed a couple people at Wendy's in Massachusetts. A 16-year-old teenager working there was shot in the shoulder, and another 17-year-old was grazed after they allegedly handed the customer the wrong size drink. It was a extra large overreaction is what happened after that. Yeah, so this all happened at the drive-thru. Basically, it was a drive-by at the drive-thru. Luckily, the bullets missed the teenager's arteries and stuff like that. Everyone lives,
Damn,
but
they actually
holy
shot
shit!
him, huh? Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
They gave him a smaller drink than he was supposed to get?
He got a small, was supposed to get a large, and then he
Supposed
had
to get a biggie?
a large
Was it the
reaction.
same drink? Like I ordered McDonald's the other day and got a Sprite, I ordered a Coke.
You know, you'd have
and
to.
I loaded my gun.
Unfortunately, exactly. Unfortunately, they haven't caught this guy, Pat. But you'd have to hear his side of the story, and hopefully there is more to it than just the size, like a completely wrong drink. Yeah.
Yeah. Was there the guy's dick in it, or okay? Yeah.
Well, yeah. Anyways, I do have a video.
What is it, like the Old West? Like, what does this guy think it is? Like, he's just firing at his server? Like,
You'll see there's bullet holes all over the place. A friend of the 17-year-old gunman said the guy opened fire after not getting what he ordered. She said, quote, he ordered a large, he got a small, he came back around and shot. She didn't want to give her name or address because she was scared of this guy, but I do have the local news clip, which she is in as well.
Oh, wow.
Teenage workers at this Wendy's recovering from gunshot wounds. A 16-year-old shot in the shoulder and a 17-year-old grazed. Lynn police say it all stemmed from some sort of dispute at the drive-thru window. This woman, who didn't want to show her face, knows one of the victims in his family.
They ordered a large, they got a small, he came back around and shot.
2 bullet holes visible today in that shattered drive-thru window. Could have been any of us in here, a Wendy's employee told us in Spanish.
A Wendy's no le importamos un carajo. Mierda, mierda.
We are workers offering a service. We don't expect any type of aggression from anyone. I just wish our coworker recovers as quickly as possible. Today, crews boarded up that window and the restaurant reopened. A Wendy's spokesperson saying they're deeply disturbed by this senseless act of violence, and those who eat here agree.
It's a little scary. You can't even go out anymore without being worried for your safety, although I will say this place gets my order wrong all the time.
And back here live at the Wendy's on Boston Road here in Lynn, you can see the restaurant is back open. You also notice the plywood covering that window there. That is where those bullet holes once were. We can tell you right now, police have not made any arrests in this case. We're live here in Lynn this evening. I'm Peter Iliopoulos, WCVB News Center 5.
They kept saying things like the guys were saying, like, the Spanish translation was way off. The news was sugarcoating.
Yeah, what did they say?
Well, I think the guy called him the F word and said that little F word shot at us. And then the second time he said something along the lines of Wendy's doesn't give a fuck about us, those fucks. But I don't think they were trying to, it's a PG show.
They didn't know on the news. Yeah, the folks over at the news station.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's on the run.
Insane. I hope they get that guy. That's terrible. I mean,
nut job.
And the thing about being on the run is fast food's some of the only food options when you're on the run.
Yeah. He's
Right.
but you got to, what if he gets caught with a Wendy's wrapper in his car and a small drink cup?
Oh, my God.
You got to get rid of
the red herring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, he might strike again, as Pat says, if he has to resort to going to his fast food when he's on the lam.
Absolute moron trying to kill people over a drink size, though. So.
Yeah, it's one of the dumbest trends of all time, and I don't know why it's happening so much in the last 2 years. It's I feel like it's a trend that kicked off after COVID, right? Of the
shooting, someone gets your order
shootings,
wrong.
The order shooting,
sauces and shooting. Yeah, it's
because there was a bunch. There's been a
the
bunch.
duck sauce guy was a nut job.
Duck sauce killer in New York.
Yeah.
There's been a bunch.
Some guy follow. I've done a lot of them. I think I've done 4 of these shootings from restaurants.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's like when things go wrong, everything's going wrong, and then it's the last thing to go wrong, and it just makes you go insane. I guess
It's the straw that breaks the camel's back. Yeah, some of these people. It's insane.
One guy got the order wrong, and he waited till the people got off their shift 2 hours later and followed him and shot at their car.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. These people are fucking nuts, man. Well, everybody calm down,
I bet it was corporate paying a guy to do it to tighten things up at that Wendy's.
You think it was? It's like a
I mean,
customer.
think about it.
Kill him.
What do they call those
Just
people?
kill one of them.
Secret eaters. You failed.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah.
If they don't.
I mean,
get
look,
the right
guys.
order, kill them.
I know this is a
Whatever
harrowing
it
time for
takes.
everyone, and look, there's counseling available. Okay, but let's take the positive away from this, and let's learn a lesson. We really got to be nailing orders out there, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
They're talking to the consultant before they send him from HQ. Whatever it takes, Johnson, get it just done.
Don't hit anyone.
We've gotten a lot of complaints about this restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. So they're gonna get the drink sizes right for sure, though. From now on.
Yeah, they label
will
them
from now on.
100%.
Good thing nobody died.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's move on to the last one of the day. I've got the latest animal updates for you that you need to know. Starting right near me in Lake Tahoe, then over to New Zealand, and then back to the USA to the Vegas desert. To just some 3 quick animal news for you. First up, Lake Tahoe. The locals are being reminded around Lake Tahoe to check their crawl spaces underneath their house for bears, specifically fat bears that you tend to find around the Lake Tahoe area. This winter, as a local homeowner, Toogie Silsh, which must be a fake name, has TOOGEESIELSCH.
Could be a Russian.
That's a human.
Silsh.
That's a human's name or the bear's
and
name?
it's his bear.
That's his home. He's the homeowner who recently got this video of a very large black bear, a very fat one.
Care to comment, Mr. Toogie?
Silsh.
That's a fake name, right? Toogie Silsh. Anyways, he got this video of a bear backing into his South Lake Tahoe crawl space, or there, because I don't know what sex Toogie is. South Lake Tahoe
Toogie's about to hawk a loogie.
Loogie Toogie?
Like, dude, if your name's Toogie, you got to get really good at loogies, dude.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you have a lot of good nicknames. Toogie.
Just practicing.
Toogie. It's a good name, actually, but it's got to be fake. Anyways, here's the video of the fat black bear squeezing into the crawl space of this home between the snowbank and the house. Guys, check it out. There is a big fat black
shit.
bear.
Fucking huge bear, dude.
It's going down the well.
first.
That's like we used to slide beers down Pat's well. It's doing that.
Exactly. It's beers into the well.
It's beers, but it's bears into the well.
It's bears into the crawl space, yeah. But it's the same shit.
Oh,
yeah, look, it goes all the way in.
He's going back home.
man.
Why isn't he hibernating right now?
Because that's
'Cause
his
he has
that's his
that
cave.
house, yeah.
Toogie's crawl space is that bear's cave.
Would you
But
rather
don't
be in a
bears go to
cave
sleep
or a
all winter?
house?
If there's not enough food around, I think if there's plentiful food, I don't think they hide.
Yeah. These bears in Tahoe, Pat, like they get caught like going to the grocery store and stealing shit. Like they'll go into like they're very there's like stuff there's food all around. So I know they attack like people have to be really careful with their trash bins and shit because the bears are just out for food.
How do you find out that the bear was in his fucking crawl space, dude?
Oh, this was a security cam.
So he found out.
Hear it
So it
snoring.
could have still been there when he checked the cam.
Could have still.
Oh my
You never
god,
know.
dude.
Could be sleeping
Potentially.
down there.
I mean, your first thought is he's still there when you check the cam, right?
Yeah, what do you do, man?
Don't assume
Pretty
he's
cool,
not.
man.
That's for sure.
If you hate your wife and you're thinking about murdering her, but you're not sure how, you say, "Honey,
don't go
can you get
home."
something out of the crawl space for me?"
Maybe that's why he gave a fake name, Pat.
Yeah, Toogie Syapovich.
Yeah.
Toogie Silsh. Unmarried.
What did you just say? He just made noises.
Look, my name's Toogie, and I'm known for one thing.
We got it.
Rockin' lubes.
G-O-O-G-O-E-E.
Cold and flu
down
system.
That name must have been so confused.
Cold and flu season is my season.
All right, yeah. So anyway, that's a PSA, guys. Check your crawl spaces for bears. They could be in there this winter. You never know. Yeah. And if you think a bear,
that is scary. That's the last thing you want to hear is like that you check. You're like moving into town or you're getting an Airbnb and it's like check the crawl space for bears. You're like, did I read that right?
I mean, it's kind of cool though. Like that bear looks awesome, and I don't know how dangerous it is, but like I think it'd be kind of cool to have a giant bear living under your house.
You think it would be cool to have a bear in your house?
Under your house.
No, it would be horrible.
I mean, let's think of what's going on here.
Stink.
It's fucking awake. It's awake at night. Our bear's nocturnal.
Stink.
I mean, I'm sure it's like whatever hours the bear wants to be awake. It's a fucking bear. It does
gets
what it
hungry.
wants.
He's up. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. When its stomach is rumbling. And then imagine if it just tries to start coming into the house if you've got like great food cooking.
If you didn't
all of your pets and all the neighbors' pets are mangled in your crawl space.
Oh yeah, your dogs are dead.
Yeah,
so dead.
Those black bears necessarily eat dogs. I don't know. Maybe
bears of that size, dude.
Yeah,
I think they prefer candy bars.
That was the biggest black bear I've ever seen, man.
It's massive. You
think
think it was a grizzly? That's how fat it is. All right. If you think a bear in the crawl space is wild, how about an elephant seal on your morning stroll through the park with the family? That'd be pretty nuts, right? That's right. That's what happened in New Zealand. A recent spotting in a New Zealand park of an 11,000-pound elephant seal. It's quite the sight to behold, guys.
Jesus.
Look at it.
Holy crap.
Wriggling across the bike path, trying to get to the waters.
11,000 pounds?
11,000 pounds elephant seal.
No way.
It looks like
it can't be 11,000 pounds.
Come on, it's not
They
11,000
get up to
1,100
11,000 pounds.
1,100 pounds.
This one's 11,000 pounds. I'm telling you, they get up. Look how big they are.
It's so
that
dense,
one's
though.
That one's like 3,000 pounds.
That one's not a get up to look how big they get. Look at this guy. There's a bearded man standing way too close to one. It's like triple his size.
Yeah, but
Looks like a
get up to
gigantic
1,100.
They can get up to 5,000 pounds, not
Yeah,
11,000.
5,000 pounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
11,000 bigger than a regular elephant.
I mean, it looked so big to me. I thought it was 11,000, but still, 5 is pretty big.
Well, I like how you selected the photo, the forced perspective photo, to back up your stats too.
11,000 pounds, and that thing's huge. Look at that. Well,
That's
it's 5,000.
definitely,
Half that.
Yeah.
5,000 pounds. Thanks, Wes.
4,500.
Yeah, 4,500. Yeah.
This thing is so big, it looks like the Hard Factor hosts making their way to the ocean on one of our beach trips. You know?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, no,
wriggling
I know.
our way in there.
It looks like the one wrestler, Otis, who does the worm. He's this big fat guy. Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, hold on. The southern elephant seals can weigh up to 8,800 pounds.
Okay,
Look at that.
That's close.
Pretty fucking close.
That's close. You
Yeah,
can
and
round
this
up
is
to
definitely
10.
southern. This is definitely a southern.
Looks pretty southern to me.
Southern hemisphere for sure.
thing
New
wasn't
Zealand.
near
But
11,000.
don't worry, guys. We're not going to look like elephant seals after this Fat-A-Thon. This is the one. Patreon.com/hardfactor. If you want to lose weight with us, get ready for Fat Boy Summer. Because we will still be fat boys in spirit at that time, but we'll be hard bodies after this.
We're going to look like regular seals.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yep.
Northern seals.
And finally, last update for the animal world, the viral dog Ghost. I'm sure you've seen the videos of him living with coyotes in the Las Vegas desert.
yeah.
Somewhere on your timelines. Yeah.
No.
No? Okay,
Yeah.
well, he was all USA Today, like tons of different things were like talking about his GoFundMe because he got like sick when he was living with the coyotes. He's like I think he's
sorry
a
to interrupt you, Will. Producer Eric says that you are correct on 11,000 pounds.
Nailed it. 11,000 pounds. Boom.
Where?
All right. Well, that one, you're right. It's not 11,000 pounds. They get up to 11,000 pounds. Right. So, right. Anyways, this viral dog Ghost that was living in the Vegas desert with coyotes, and everybody's like, all right, it's this like majestic. It's like they're treating it like the Tarzan of dogs, you know, like it was some magical dog.
Is this dog their leader or just a follower, friend?
He's a member of the pack, the coyote pack.
You know what?
He gets sick out there. People
it's like a
taking pictures.
Neanderthal, like living in a college house. It's pretty much the equivalent.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Encino Man. It's Encino Man for dogs.
It's exactly, Pat. People were taking him as their mascot. They're like, oh, look at this beautiful pit bull that's just it's in its natural habitat with these coyotes.
When are you going to eat the humans, though? When are you going to eat them?
Right. Then it gets sick, and everybody's worried that it's going to get killed by its pack of coyotes. So there's a big GoFundMe. USA Today, a bunch of big people pushing this GoFundMe. Turns out, once all that publication started happening, he's just a lost dog. He's back with his family in Vegas.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, no, but people should have been looking because they reported
They
it
thought
lost.
it was raised by coyotes.
They thought a coyote
reported it
birthed
lost,
him.
and people were just taking pictures and videos of this dog being like, look how majestic it is.
No, he was
Look at
chipped.
this.
Of course he was lost. He's
lost
hanging out with
people.
coyotes. He's a fucking dog.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd take it back, honestly.
No, they think it's already back with them. They wanted him back. I mean, they were missing their dog. Look, it's a
They should be
family
careful.
dog.
Oh, yeah, I know.
back
You
in the
learned
house.
some secrets.
Yeah. This dog learned some secrets.
You're saying it's going to be really, really mischievous because
Is
it's
he
like part
acting more
coyote, huh?
bitey?
He's sneaky. He's much more sneaky.
He keeps eyeing the baby.
He had the howling too, the nighttime howling. Ooh.
Something's off with Wolfie.
Either Wolfie took a shit in the closet or someone took a shit in the closet.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, anyways, is that a pit bull, Wes? I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mix for sure.
Mix, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you happy about this one, or you wish it had died out there with the coyotes?
I don't wish death upon the dog. I'm glad he's reunited with his family. Hopefully, he doesn't bite any of them. But
No, good. I feel the same way. Anyways, that's the animal news for today. To listeners, Doug and Jazzy Jeff, I'm still looking into all the fake high schoolers. Remember, guys, we did a lot of fake high schooler stories. They give us tips on other fake high schoolers.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's going to be a Hive Hour type deal, or maybe just another segment. Lots of fake high schoolers.
You guys
out
didn't
there.
talk about Steven Spielberg's nephew, did you? Or did you?
We did not.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Did not.
You or did you not?
I don't know.
If you didn't, say nothing. Say no more.
We talked
And,
about Spielberg recently, but I don't.
We'll
know.
throw
I
it
don't
right in
know.
the fake high schooler Hive Hour.
Okay.
Nice, perfect. And
No, we didn't.
real quick before we end the animals, just make sure you check your crawl space. Also, be sure to close your crawl space door and have windows that aren't broken if you don't want bears to go into your house. I
Wes
don't know
is
if you
like,
guys
that'd be
caught
really,
that the first
really
time.
neat. Look how cool that looks to be in my house.
I think it would be kind of cool, honestly. Like
You want that? Look at this.
There's
Look at
no
this
always
guy's
down
broken
there?
window.
Not
the
on
bear
like
could have
a-
just gone through the window.
maybe on like my vacation house, not on my permanent residence, but
No, dude, he doesn't
Listed
have
on
a
the
door on
Airbnb
his crawl
features.
space.
Yeah.
That's
Then
insane.
you're liable when the.
I've never
the
seen a
Rex is
live
killed.
bear in the. I think it'd be kind of cool.
I think it
I'm
was.
sure it would. I'm sure the luster would wear off after he
The second you got within
broke
15
in my
feet
house,
of it.
but-
Yeah.
On second look, it's a video of a derelict house. There's no door on the crawl space. The windows are all broken in. Just do that. You won't get a bear in a crawl space. Anyways, the Fat-A-Thon has officially begun at patreon.com/hardfactor. Join us to lose weight to get ready for Fat Boys Summer, and also for the weekly bonus pods, Hive Hour and Florida Man Friday, and the official Hard Factor group chat in the Discord server. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Pods if you want to hear it read back on Friday's show. Join the live tapings on youtube.com/hardfactornews the day and night before the show if you want to watch us tape live. And let's do the wheel, Wes.
Here we go.
A couple fun bear facts. Not all brown bears are brown. Not all black bears are black.
What's this called? Nimrod? Nimrod Nikki?
Great fact. And speaking of fun facts, your resident fun fact guy, myself, will be back on the coffee tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's all over you.
That
bro.
is 7 out of 8
7 out of
that I was
9.
eligible for.
Oh, that you're eligible for, yeah.
7 out of 8. That was a impressive streak.
That's like a bear in a crawl space all up in you.
It really is. I feel like a bear in a crawl space in here.
Makes you
But
feel
most importantly, everybody get out there and have a great fucking day.